for meiko, Karma still available, lots of champions still up and running around.
This would actually be very curious. The fact that they're prioritizing Braum over Karma could mean that EDG have shown their hand that maybe they're looking for a lane swap, or more importantly, they're trying to get Ashe or Jhin, or something that the Braum ultimate would really, or not the Braum ultimate, the Braum wall would cause problems for.
Yeah, very interesting. At the moment, Ashe is being hovered. Of course, everyone knows Deft has been playing some phenomenal Ashe at the moment. Denying that from him is a very good idea. However, there weren't any 80 carry bans, and I have a feeling you need about 8 before you stop Deft from being able to play anything.
You need a bit more than that.
Yeah.
I do like the priority for Ashe, though, for S1mLz. Probably the other big consistent member for this OMG roster is going to be xiyang and their 80 carry.
And xiyang on this pick in particular, more importantly, before Ekko was slightly tapped, but he's going to be picked up once again. xiyang, a lot of comfort there towards the top side as Ashe taken away from Deft.
Ekko has lost a lot of popularity globally, but China has yet to kind of get the memo.
They haven't cottoned onto it.
They're still playing a lot of Ekko. Very sticky. Still has some decent matchups. Got Rapid Star on your screen right now, the coach or draft coach for EDG. So see how xiyang performs with it. Kind of is a comfort pick. Still more excited about the Ashe. Again, it denies a lot of the double teleport. EDG found so much success against RNG by utilizing double teleport. Again, they're a team that likes to really set up and prepare things well in advance and then execute on it. That's part of the reason why they're the elite. They're smart in their macro and they're intense in their micro. So we'll see if Scout respects that and takes the cleanse.
Well, Irelia and Jhin have both been locked in here from EDG. So answering the Ekko pick with that Irelia towards the top side of the map.
And we talked about the fact that Karma wasn't the priority pick, that it might mean that there was going to be a Jhin or some other 80 carry that would be punished into a Braum. Meiko's also just really comfortable on that champion.
Well, 5 does have the opportunity to go for a Bard, something like that. Trundle wasn't touched there as well, but with the Ekko locked in, that'd have to mean that either 5 is playing the Trundle support, or there's an Ekko mid lane running around for Icon. But that is going to be the Hecarim locked in as well as the Thresh. So Ashe and Thresh, the bottom side of the map, as 5 takes his most comfortable champion. And the horse is going to be running around the jungle.
So your options there are either between Karma and Thresh. So if you take the Karma, you're augmenting damage for Hecarim. Likewise, you're adding a little bit of safety mobility for the Ashe.
Yep.
The trade-off is that you give a bit more hard CC, a bit more engage, and pick potential for follow-up. Likewise, more safety for the Ashe in the Dark Passage.
You also lose a tanky body by picking up Karma, and Thresh does like to build a lot of those tanky stats. Can be another frontline member if you can get yourself in there with the hook.
I think it's almost in response to Irelia a bit.
Yeah.
Just because if Irelia does the backline dive, you can lay down the box, you can try to flay her away and at least try to create some distance with the slow. He'll do it.
Don't play with my heart, clearlove.
Trinity Force.
Yeah, no, don't you even quiz me on Skarner right now.
I see you've run into one.
No.
Oh,
no,
good, because you don't run away from it.
He's just one of my personal favorite champions in the game. And it is going to be locked in. clearlove is going to be making sure that OMG feel the sting as they're looking at their final pickup.
clearlove in particular has quite a sordid history with Skarner and his success there. The LPL in general has never been too keen with this champion. We'll see if clearlove's able to adjust, fix himself, maybe look a little bit cleaner on it.
Oh, and this is really cute. OMG are going to be flexing that Ekko to the mid lane by the looks. Oh, actually, nope. Take it all back. His Icon, you can see having a bit of a giggle on your screen right now. He just knew he was trolling the casters.
No, he's like, hey guys, is Cool playing?
Well, actually, Icon had one of his breakout performances solo killing Pawn on Ahri, if I remember correctly.
I wonder why. But it is going to be the Shen lock-in, which is a very cool composition coming out of OMG. And again, taking the Shen in response to the Irelia. He's one of the few champions that does very well into the Trinity Force users like Jax and Irelia.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to 1v1 dueler. I'm just going to say he's going to slow her down. Likewise, he'll offer protection to his 80 carry so that when Irelia dives back there, not only do you have 5 to create space for Ashe, but you have the Shen shield to come in to keep her alive.
And sort of on the back end of that, I mean, Ekko probably going to be fine here in the mid lane. Does like building a bunch of AP now, especially since that's been buffed very recently. It was only Tank Ekko that was really hit. And that Timewinder does offer a lot of pretty good wave clear there in the mid lane as well. So even if he wants to just get into a farm game with Scout, I believe he'll be able to do that.
Eyes on Mouse, though, on this Irelia. I want to see how he performs again, trying to change its identity as kind of a secondary support.
Yeah.
Now on the true hard carry champion. And let's see how Trinity Force really impacts the flow of this game.
Yeah, and see whether there's going to be Trinity Forces from the jungle as well, as clearlove. He does have access to a new and improved Wit's End as well, also a fantastic damage augmenting item for Skarner, but I'm not stop talking about that guy because there's no need to. Let's get into game number 1 between EDG and OMG. Thank you very much, clearlove. You're looking fantastic, as the first dragon is going to be the mountain as we get onto the rift for game number 1 between EDG and OMG. EDG with, I would say, a pretty interesting team composition.
Is
With the Skarner.
First time we've seen Skarner in the LPL? Or is it the second?
Not the first time. Well, we saw a lot of Skarner when he was first reworked.
I'm talking about this split.
This split, definitely the first time.
Okay.
Probably the first time that we've seen it, this split. I don't know whether it's been played across the world.
We'll keep tabs on his itemization.
We will have to, yes.
Checking in on Keystone Masterings, it is going to be Battle of Fervor on Ashe again.
Ooh, Deft going for the Thunderlords.
In that top side. We've seen this kind of become the standard of LPL ADCs on Jhin, as opposed to the Deathfire Touch. It's been Imp twice now, Deft, and Mystic, I believe, that have all gone towards that Thunderlords on Jhin.
Yeah, and sort of contrast to that of S2YZ in our last matchup, deciding to go for the Deathfire Touch, which was the first thought to be best option.
But it looks like we're going to go ahead and have standard lanes.
Yeah, and the thing that's interesting here is you were talking about lane swaps potentially for EDG, but Irelia loves standard lanes just because you are so reliant on your items.
It was assuming that maybe EDG were looking for a lane swap because they had invested into a melee support before looking towards the Karma, so for power in the 2v2.
Yeah.
But feeling comfortable enough to look across from Ashe and Thresh, and then likewise second rotating that Irelia, like you said, making sure that she gets into that 1v1 lane. Irelia, obviously, as a kit, pretty much just needs about 150 gold before she becomes Irelia, no matter what.
Yep.
So we'll keep tabs on if xiyang's able to slow her down on the Shen.
And of course, that is exactly what xiyang wants to do. Sort of neutralize the lane, stop the split push as best as possible, pull those minions away from turrets, all that sort of stuff. Now Deft and Meiko fighting 5 in S1mLz.
It was also very key that OMG have a lot of potential to make plays around the map using the Stan United, as well as the speed of Hecarim, or juejue on his Hecarim.
Yeah,
so we'll see if they're able
teleport
to
as well.
outmaneuver EDG at all, at any point on this map.
That's exactly what they're going to be looking to do. S1mLz, of course, a bit of global pressure with the arrow is available as well. As you can see, clearlove going for a full clear here first up. Nice deadly flourish out of Deft as well. Gets a lot of damage onto 5. Winter's Bite doesn't find S1mLz. But some fight in the AD carry bottom, in the EDG bottom lane at the moment.
OMG should still have complete control of the lane in terms of the creeps. Again, Ashe is actually quite powerful in lane just due to the AoE pressure of her volley, and making sure that Deft and Meiko are constantly pushed in, eating up auto attacks on CSing to open up space for trades.
You can see clearlove now setting up, grabbing his Raptor camp, see where he decides to put his focus early. His Icon able to shove around Scout's minion wave quite nicely. However, Scout now able to pick up a bunch of farm underneath the turret. He's going to be absolutely fine. clearlove heading back to base. Even on the CS at the moment. We'll see whether juejue can get himself ahead. Nice hook lands on Meiko as a deadly flourish is going to answer from Deft. So far, S1mLz with quite a lead.
Yeah, close to 10 CS right now. Should be noted that juejue has done a phenomenal job of controlling vision on the bottom side of the map, so trying to cover S1mLz and 5 as they are extended bottom against Deft and Meiko. That said, Skarner doesn't have the greatest gank pre-level 6, although it's still pretty sticky.
Yeah, he's most certainly sticky. That is exactly right, but you do need to get that initial auto attack off. Crystalline Exoskeleton, fantastic for a speed boost.
So it's going to be really on meiko if he ever looks bottom to try to help out that lane to make sure that he connects with the Winter's Bite, gets the concussive blows proc, and allows Skarner to gap close and start sticking to his opponents.
Yeah, and of course now as Skarner you do have your stun as well available from the E as you stack that one up. So feeling a little bit better as far as that's concerned. And you also have ridiculous clear of the jungle.
Very healthy
levels.
Clear of the jungle.
Precisely. Champions with shields. Pretty good at that. As you can see, Icon getting his pink ward into the jungle of EDG, spotting everyone out. You can see at the moment, everything very, very close. Dancing Grenade flies over the top. You feel like OMG probably pretty happy in their lane assignments right now. Despite the CS deficit that you see on in the mid lane and the top lane, as this game goes on, they're probably pretty happy.
As long as they can keep everyone happy and start to make the most of their TP and kind of their global presence.
Yeah.
I expect that this is going to be a game very focused around the bottom side and how the top side of the map and even the mid side of the map concerning Ekko will react to that. Should be noted that Scout took Exhaust and not the Cleanse in response to Ashe.
Wow, really nice double play here as 5 is already burning down. meiko flashes on top of him. The flash forward from Deft as it is meiko that picks it up with the Ignite. Juejue is right in here though and Deft is going to fall down. It's looking to be 2 kills for juejue very early on, and clearlove just couldn't get in there.
And we talked about how this is going to be focused around the bottom side of the map. It's going to be meiko and deft that set themselves up for success, but unfortunately not respecting the speed and damage of their opponents.
clearlove, though, does get a full wave of minions pumped into him.
There's the real victory.
Trinity Force.
I don't necessarily think it matters as much just because juejue did get 2 kills.
Yes.
But it is a consolation prize.
You got to talk about those. clearlove doing his very best to clear out underneath this turret, and doesn't do so well.
Just couldn't wiggle well enough.
No, you got to wiggle it hard. I love Earther in Skarner. One of my personal favorite skins as well. As if we're going to jump on that hype train one more time. It's Scout clears out a wave, shoved into him from Icon. He's doing fine as far as CS is concerned. As you can see, OMG with a lot of control around this Mountain Drake. And it's going to be Scout the focus. He gets stunned up by the parallel convergence, and he's all over the shop right now. Does survive for a relatively long time, as the Impale is available actually from clearlove. Actually looks for juejue with it as well. Pulls him underneath the turret, gets stunned up there by the Winter's Bite. And you can see now Mouse trying to get in amongst it. Really nice use of the W out of xiyang. As Icon throws down the ult, does a fair bit of damage, but this is early in the game. Isn't going to be able to solidify any kills. Mouse going to get hooked. Nice double play one more time. They do have to be careful. S1mLz is going to kill Deft 1v1 on the bottom side of the map. That is weird.
Used his arrow, so Deft not having his flash available and being too far forward didn't respect S1mLz's kill threat. Probably just ate the arrow and died.
Yeah.
Mistakes like that, though, very costly. So in the end, it is an initial 1-for-1 trade. Mouse being the benefactor there on the Irelia. Looking for the stinger part of his
Trinity Force.
Trinity first. But great proactive play from OMG.
Yeah.
Normally we think of them as a very reactive team, kind of letting other teams set the tempo and set the pace, but something they really excel at is these skirmishing situations. So seeing that juejue had his level 6 available is, yep, just an arrow to the face.
There it is. Point blank as well. Ain't no way Deft getting out of that one.
Shouldn't have been that far forward. Didn't have flash. Just frankly a massive error from Deft.
Well, juejue looking to make his way in here. EDG looking to try and lock down their blue buff as best they can. clearlove doesn't have Impale available anymore, and juejue is going to be able to pick up that blue. Running away now as Mouse launches on top of him, but just can't get enough damage onto the horsey.
Having the confidence to go into that 2v3 because Icon was not in position, and just knowing that your horse is fast enough.
Yeah, well, he was. Made his way out there as well. juejue looking fantastic on this pick after his Lee Sin was banned away. Scout just clearing out minions one more time. That's a Cinderhulk already completed here from clearlove as well, so he's looking good. 41 to 39, but that's a lot of lane creeps. And OMG, control everywhere. Looking to start bleeding EDG out.
Deft has to be incredibly respectful right now and give away so much lane pressure until his flash is back and available. One of the issues of taking Jhin into Ashe.
Yeah. Well, you can see Mouse and xiyang still smacking on each other. Now, it's interesting to see what he's leveling first here as juejue finds himself a pink ward.
He
Mouse
does have
underneath the turret.
Onslaught of Shadows. This is very scary. There's 0 response.
Yeah, looking to get the equilibrium strike down as Mousy is going to get feared back. There it is, juejue underneath the turret, but he's still so tanky. Even before that jungle item's completed, as Icon's in trouble, uses his ultimate, gets himself out as there's the Impale, and Icon will fall. clearlove picks up that kill.
EDG finally able to make some sort of response on the map. Do pick it up into the mid lane. Unfortunately, it isn't Scout that takes the kills. It is going to be into that jungler.
Yeah, clearlove as well. Going to be able to take himself a Rift Scuttler now. No one looking at the Dragon just yet. As OMG now move it out to a 1,500 gold lead. Still not too much of a big deal, but you can see the item discrepancy on the bottom side of the map is massive. BF Sword and the Hammer done.
Which is why S1mLz and 5 are still so confident to be extended. They know that Skarner is on the bottom side of the map, but knowing that he doesn't have his Impale, because it was just used in the mid lane, the only person that they have to fear is meiko.
Well, deft now with a wave to pick up underneath this turret, but he's falling so far behind. Deft does clear this one out. clearlove, there is vision around. An Icon now, time winds himself a blue buff. We'll move back here into the mid lane. Scout makes his way back in as well. He's got himself a Ruby Crystal as well as that Hex Core Mark II. So feeling safer, as well as having a lot of extra wave clear.
Deft and meiko just trying to make sure that they clean up as much CS. And so far, OMG with a pretty significant lead in this game against EDG. I have to say that I think that they frankly drafted far superior.
Yeah, and I think that the Ekko pick early really threw EDG through a loop because Mouse thought that he'd probably have that Ekko lane. Looking like a very different story here against the Shen. xiyang actually ahead by 13 CS after that kill. And is now just getting to the point where it'll be so tanky that Mouse won't even be able to fight him.
And that's what Shen then does, is once he has that big tankiness, he just steps off the tower, holds the creep line, and Jax and Irelia can't even walk past him to just push the tower and ignore him.
Wow, there's pings going down. The horse is spotted. As Icon continues to shove things up here in the mid lane, but he's ahead as well. OMG just with leads across the board.
See if they can hold on to those leads and translate them into something powerful.
Arrow soars by from the bottom lane. Scout not going to get found by it though.
But again, still being proactive, recognizing that Ekko had his ultimate available, so it could look for a dive, just needed the hard CC from the enchanted crystal arrow to maybe follow up on. Likewise, we did have 5 roaming towards that mid lane.
Yeah.
So OMG are aware that they're stronger. They want to fight.
Well, Icon now moving down, looking for a dive on the bottom lane as clearlove could be in trouble. Stand United comes in, they're looking for the Skarner as the Impale comes in. Nice Deadly Flourish comes down as meiko makes it here in time as Deft does have the ultimate available. Icon picks up a kill with his ultimate now as well as meiko has sped around his passive quite nicely. But you can see the dive on the bottom inner turret is massive and EDG now have to run away. Shadow Dash comes in. OMG tearing apart the map right now.
And this is the beauty of Shen, is they're going to continue to chase. Mouse should get away. Unless...
Yeah, 5 doesn't find the hook.
Okay, that's going to be Dragon as well as advantage on mid lane if they want to go there. They should just take the Dragon, reset their position, and spin the gold advantage that they have, move it back into the lanes. But you see the excellent engage potential from Ekko and just the Shen.
Yeah. And it's just Icon being able to freely roam around this map as well. Almost, does have his Rod of Ages completed now. Does have the Lucidity boots as well, so... Oh my goodness. The fact that Icon is now completely unlocked, and if anything bad ever happens, or anything good, xiyang's just like, alright, I'll grab some of that. His Deft throws down the ultimate, S1mLz, puts in an arrow, nice Unbreakable is going to stop that one up as the last bolt doesn't find it. Deft not going to quite be able to secure anything there towards the bottom side.
Yep, trading ultimate for ultimate. In the end, it's really just for farming purposes as well as proper pressure purposes.
Yep. Now 5 wanders over a ward. They can see OMG looking for another dive here towards the bottom side of the map.
Stand United isn't available this time, but the teleport from xiyang still is.
Yeah, and that's going to come in right now as meiko trying to get everyone away as deft underneath his outer turret. meiko trying to get himself to safety, and he's going to get ignored for now as deft. Decent health advantage over S1mLz as he lands the deadly flourish, picks up the kill 1v4, and he's now running away. He will fall down, but he's probably happy with a 1-for-1. He's now trying to get some damage onto 5.
Doing the best that he can. That was the only option Deft had available to him. S2YZ should not have been that far forward without his team. Yes, there were technically 4 people in the area, but I'm not going to call it a 1v4. It was more like a 1v1 with an audience of 3.
Sounded better, you know. What I was going for is EDG setting up some control here towards the top side. clearlove well and truly able to clear creeps quite nicely now with the new and improved Cinderhulk.
This is the only highlight that EDG really have left on the map right now, and it's not necessarily winning. Good creep wave means that Mouse is going to get great damage on this, has to respect the taunt from xiyang though, so not able to translate this into an objective. So OMG still well and truly in control of the tempo of this game.
Yeah, not to mention now the mid lane as well under fire as Icon has his turret down below half health. Time Winder going to zone scout for now, but not going to be able to get that turret down. EDG still holding on quite nicely, but it's 2.5 thousand gold. OMG continuing to get things across this map. This bottom lane focus has not stopped. Unbreakable comes in. Arrow sails by as deft just takes so much damage. There's a deadly flourish, gets some work done, but it is xiyang that's able to pick up that kill as soon as the ultimate's off cooldown. xiyang just doing so much work on this Shen.
And the only sacrifice is the top tower. So there will be trading outers, bottom for top. We do see xiyang trying to reposition himself and get back towards that top side, but Mouse had that well below 50%.
Oh, yeah. And this is probably one of the least impressive deft games that we've seen so far. 1-5-1 at the moment, down by 50 CS, but there hasn't been much else he can do.
I have to go back to draft phase from EDG.
Yeah.
I feel like they were frankly outdrafted. They don't have necessarily the cleanest windows of opportunity to make plays. Like what EDG are good at, they don't have that ability in this game. They're good at making cross-map plays, of setting themselves up, of looking for big 5v5s. They still have 5v5 potential on that team comp, but it takes a very long time to ramp up, and they don't have a lot of bridges for power to get them there. It's not like they have the big early game power spike from Skarner. No, he doesn't have that. Viktor, mid-game, late game, Irelia needs quite a significant amount of gold before she comes online. She does come online quite hard, but it takes a bit longer to ramp.
Well, now, Mouse able to clear out this lane quite nicely. As all these creeps are going to fall down. S1mLz switching up towards the top side. The ward is going to spot everything out. Mouse going to just back away.
More importantly has been the focus on deft and putting him down and behind. 1-5-1 is not a scoreline that we're used to seeing on EDG's all-stall carry. And it starts with this global comp presence with the Shen and using the Ekko as a flex pick. Very cheeky and very clever from OMG.
Well, now clearlove setting up towards the bottom side, trying to buy deft some time to be able to take down this turret. However, OMG will be able to grab the outer on the top side of the map, possibly push this one through to try and continue getting pressure on the inner turret. Mouse is going to make his way in, and xiyang has caught Scout out of position. Shadow Dash comes in. Decent use of the gravity field, but Scout is going to be able to walk away. Moves towards clearlove, and everything's going to be fine. But inner turret is already under fire here from OMG.
Yeah, everyone's making the call to push through. They're leaving Mouse there to continue to try to either reset this wave or take the tower. But OMG, with the initial proactive play and the lead, take inner top with no response so far from EDG. In fact, Mouse isn't even going to try to siege tower. He's just going to try to bounce it.
Yeah, well, he does get it to the turret at least. And this may give some breathing room for deft as well as he picks up bunch of minions underneath this turret, but of course no freeze available for this Jhin. And juejue almost has a Trinity Force as his second item, and that is a 4-1-5 Hecarim. He is so big.
But Mouse does have a Trinity Force. So again, the bright spot for EDG's comp is still in the hands of Irelia. She's not ahead of the clock or anything like that, but she's still very strong. It's now a question, can Mouse actually step up and be this carry when deft has been put so far behind?
Oh, yeah. Does have his Ghost Blade. Now building towards what could be a more of Malmortius or potentially that Dusk Blade. any manner of things, really. Now, parallel convergence flying through.
S1mLz is hiding in Fog of War. They're looking to dive Scout.
Well, there's the arrow. Scout gets hooked as well, and Icon, with the help of Shen, is going to be able to jump on top. That is all too easy here for OMG, and they grab themselves the turret. Is the inner going to fall down as well, is the question. There are 5 members here to the 4 of EDG, as clearlove does have the ultimate. There's the curtain call. So they're taking a fair bit of poke, but it's just not enough as OMG just back away.
But they don't have any wave clear. Luckily, the wave is far enough down the lane that OMG aren't going to continue to siege, but they can just mosey their way down bottom.
Well, Mouse already there, trying to do his very best to get rid of this one. No Transcendent Blades available, as now he has to be very careful. Not a lot of vision here for EDG, but Red Buff will at least keep their attention for the moment. And Cloud Drake is now going to be taken from OMG as well.
Such a clever move and very cleanly played from OMG. They break out the outer turrets. It goes to sieging mid. S1mLz cheekily stands in Fog of War, throws the arrow, and because Scout didn't take the cleanse, has the exhaust instead, gives them a free pick. At any time this Viktor goes down, EDG's composition is lacking wave clear severely. Again, Karma was an option in draft phase, could have augmented Jhin's lackluster wave clear.
Yeah. And they are relying on Scout a lot for that, exactly right. As Mouse, he's able to pick himself up some farm here towards the bottom side of the map. OMG still need to keep winning this game, but they're getting themselves incremental advantages every time they decide to.
A 6k gold lead at 21 minutes is nothing to sneeze at.
No. This team looking incredibly strong, and juejue's got his Trinity Force. He's ready to build tanky now. And he's going to be a complete menace to deal with as EDG. Setting up for something here as clearlove is going to clear out this ward.
Meiko and Deft still being careful to not show their position on the ward, so OMG might not be aware how many members are truly in the back line there.
Yep. OMG really setting themselves up to take a victory over EDG, who haven't even looked to lose a game yet.
But it's also always
maps
important where S1mLz is standing. That's the key member to watch right now. You see him constantly kind of standing back in a Fog of War because all he's doing is he's just looking for these arrows onto Viktor, which means that Scout needs to be so aware and so cautious that he doesn't give away his position. Again, the only stable wave clear on EDG's roster. This could be a Hail Mary, though.
Yeah, OMG already starting off this Baron. Stand United comes in. juejue not exactly as tanky as he wants to be. 5 members now in the pit, and this Baron's going down so low. Thank you very much, Mountain Drake. They will be able to take this one. Immediately, clearlove does soak an arrow here at the same time. Curtain Call comes in. EDG still able to fight somewhat, as that gravity field was so well placed. Chaos Storm across 3 people. Immediately, S1mLz has to run away as xiyang gets his distance closed on. Deft was looking for the kill. S1mLz is going to survive, though, as the Deadly Flourish doesn't find him. There's a flash forward as 5 gets slowed down. Meiko finds his way in. And that's a nice use of the Lantern from 5 in order to get xiyang to his death at the hands of Mouse.
It was because the Concussive Blows was able to proc right as he took the Dark Passage, so meant that when he was on the travel path that he stunned as soon as he landed. So good catch by Meiko. They do manage to clear out 2 of the Barons. 3 still remain. 1 of them is on the support, but Baron buff can be used in every single lane simultaneously.
Very, very scary. However, not being on the Shen is a huge deal.
The setup, however, for this was very cool. So OMG, they moved into the Baron pit. They set down their vision. They made a proactive play to play around it, then were patient, shoved in the mid lane, saw exactly where EDG were deep on this inner mid tower, and then immediately turned onto the Baron.
And knew, because they'd set up all of that vision prior, that there was no way that EDG could actually safely check that one.
The vision setup is important, but what takes it from a good play to a great play is managing their side waves and pulling EDG to respond around the map and then using that information on their position proactively.
clearlove looking for a pick. Impale always important. As clearlove, we'll see what he decides to pick up next. It could potentially be a dead man's plate that he's looking for right now.
I just feel like Skarner is kind of in a position where he's the poor man's Hecarim. He's supposed to be kind of this tanky, disruptive, Speaking of disruptive.
Well, Equilibrium Strike actually closes the distance here onto Icon, who has to use the ultimate, but clearlove says, thank you very much. And Deft, I believe, will be able to pick up this kill. Captive Audience underneath Icon, manages to get over the top with some swift footwork, but Scout able to lock down the kill with the Q.
1-for-1 trade, but S1mLz is left alone with that inner tower in mid. Will take this one for free. You see that 5 is setting up for a free Dark Passage out of there.
Yeah. Almost looking too easy here as the Lantern is going to be taken. Scout throws down the ultimate, though, flashes
nice
the arrow, and the Stand United comes in. Will he actually make it there? Scout does fall down, but Deft is able to pick up the kill, and 5's going to die as well. It's a double for Deft, getting him further into this game.
Excellent play from Scout to try to neutralize any sort of advantage. EDG now trying to push up mid as quickly as possible.
They should be able to get to this turret as well, which is...
They don't have a creep wave behind them.
Got 2/3 health for the moment. Yeah, response actually available in time here for OMG. EDG just not quite able to open the door. Deft looks like he's going towards that Dustblade of Drakthar as well for his item number 3. And he went from 1-5-1 to 3-5-3, so he's not doing too bad.
Climbing his way back into the game, but you're still looking at a very significant gold discrepancy between these teams. About 8K in favor of OMG. Yeah. And again, the composition just, how to explain it? The windows on which EDG are powerful to look for fights are much longer and much farther apart than OMG. The cooldown on Stand United, on the double teleport, on the arrow, on the speed of Hecarim, the fact that he's not reliant on ganks on an ultimate, that he can make work happen without Onslaught of Shadows. Like, all of these overlapping cooldowns and how much shorter they are mean that OMG get to be proactive much sooner and much more often than EDG's comp. And also, that's the punish.
Yeah, and when they are, they have so many tools in order to do it as well. They seem to be able to set up much more effectively here as EDG holding on to their base, or what's left of it. One more inner turret remains on the bottom side of the map. Icon seeing to it at the moment. xiyang now shoving out this top wave. 1-3-1 looks to be in effect. With a horse a little bit MIA at the moment, looking for that Ocean Drake, which just spawned. No Infernals available this game. clearlove wants to secure this camp for himself, does so. juejue is able to grab that 3rd dragon, so Cloud Drake number 2 will be spawning straight afterwards. Nothing really to write home about, as there's the arrow, but not going to find anyone.
Still looking for it, though, as we look to attempt another siege. Again, the wave clear isn't in position. Viktor's not there.
Yeah, Mouse as well avoids the stun as clearlove's underneath this turret. juejue in trouble as the Stand United's on top of him. Scout over the top with a massive Chaos Storm is going to do some work. And juejue burning to death, not going to fall down from it though, as OMG do have to flash away. Icon finds his way all the way into the middle of this fight as Deft now going to get involved. Picks up the kill onto Icon and now throws down the ultimate. 5 tagged. One more shot will get it as S1mLz slowed. Massive damage from the final proc, and EDG grab a 3 for nothing.
OMG do manage to trade for the tower, however, so tower for 3 kills. But this is where EDG's comp is strong, and this is where they need to fight. They need to fight in the elongated lanes, in these big 5v5 scenarios. As we take a look at the replay, good job from OMG to focus on the tower, make sure that burns down first. juejue does manage to get out with his life, but then it's OMG just kind of overrunning OMG with all of their ultimates and cooldowns that they have.
Yeah, and Deft as well, actually. Lots of damage here with those 2 items built up already. And fantastic prioritization on the targets.
Making sure that he hits them, is able to get the slow and allow EDG to chase them down.
Yeah.
But again, OMG, they have all of these tools to make various plays happen across map simultaneously. So that's what they need to focus on. They can't allow themselves to get tunneled into these elongated lanes where EDG can chase them, into these tight corridors where the Chaos Storm can mean a lot. They have so much mobility and so much pick potential on the comp. Just use it. Don't funnel in. Yeah.
Well, at the moment, EDG with some respite built up for themselves. Clawed that gold lead back by about 2,000. As Scout clears out this minion wave one more time. clearlove as well. Managed to get into his jungle, clear out the top side. He's now backing himself. We'll see what he decides to pick up. As Mouse, pretty strong right now. Does have himself just a casual serrated Dirk just chilling out there. Just lots of bits of items for the moment.
Skarner going very tanky, speaking of kind of bits of items.
Yeah.
So not any sort of carry potential coming out of him. Just trying to be a very disruptive...
I still want a Wit's End.
...sticky champion. Which, we brought up this idea of kind of like the poor man's Hecarim.
Yeah.
I feel like Skarner doesn't get to engage as consistently as Hecarim does often enough. Obviously bringing a bit more of hard CC, but in very big windows between that cooldown. Hecarim gets to build damage and be very tanky.
And he's got 40% CDR as well from those 2 items that he's just picked up. This horse is so big. As EDG do have to be wary about this Baron buff, which has just spawned. Deadly Flourish flies through as Pink Ward is going to be removed here from the top side of the map. OMG really eradicating vision right now. This ward in the back of the pit. The last remaining vision for EDG is going to be taken away.
But the key to this play is making sure that you have correct side wave management. So you see S1mLz in the mid lane, meanwhile xiyang running down bottom. Once you open up the map like this, you push your creeps, which bring passive vision with them. Means that the arrow counts for more.
Yeah, Scout taking care of this wave towards the side. As OMG have started off the Baron. 5 just takes a bunch of attacks from it, as S1mLz says sorry.
That's suspicious.
Yep. Now clearlove. Spirit Visage done. He's feeling pretty good. There's the long range of this Jhin doing some work. Just getting some damage cross map. And actually, Icon in a whole bunch of trouble. He's going to use the ultimate, but not going to get himself far enough away. The arrow flies through, hits clearlove. Not exactly the target they want as 5. Takes a lot of damage. Curtain calls in there. 5. Oh, just avoids that one as Icon now over the wall gets hit by 2 bolts. And clearlove looking to try and lock him down. Zhonya's is in there. No ultimate available as Icon looking for a phase dive to get out. But Scout picks up the kill. Mouse on the backline. Deadly Flourish comes in. Can he take down 5? He can. What was that play from EDG? 3 already dead. xiyang and juejue trying to run for the hills. But EDG want Baron. How are they doing this, Frostgrin?
OMG's composition is empowered by picks. That's how it works. We talked about this. They need to set up their vision as xiyang now duking it out with Meiko, making sure that he can't reset his position because he has TP, so just trying to get rid of a nuisance.
Yep. He might die.
They set up the vision onto the Baron, but it's Ekko that gets picked out. It's Ekko that gets caught. And because they're starting that fight from the back foot, their composition isn't working correctly. The arrow is used defensively as opposed to aggressively. And again, EDG's composition thrives in a 5v5. If you get people into choke points and you just allow them to lay down all of their damage, you will lose. And look at Mouse over here on the side. Gets on S1mLz and 5 and pretty much eats up all of their time while Scout and Deft just annihilate the front line of OMG.
And Deft actually saving Scout there as well. This is ridiculous play from EDG in a game that they were down close to 10,000 gold not moments ago.
It's like OMG, they sprinted out, they're running, they're just in front of the finish line. And
they're like, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And then Deft is still doing 4.2k damage in team fights. 2,000 more than the highest on the enemy team.
I feel like they went to jump over the hurdle and their foot got caught.
Yeah. Well, yeah, over the... What are the things that horses jump over? Damn it, I didn't have it. Would have been much better if I did. However, EDG now has some control as Mouse is pushing out the top wave. As Frostgrin gives me just a weird look. Not an equestrian man, as meiko does block the arrow, as Icon looking for the stun. Deadly Flourish is going to lock down Icon for now, though, as Curtain Call comes in. They can't close the distance onto Deft at the moment as Icon... Oh my god! Just pops! And Deft picks up that kill. Scout able to take down the turret there at the same time as 5 tagged. And this Jhin is doing so much damage.
And unfortunately, the trigger needed to be the immediate engagement and side flank from juejue, but without Ekko,
God.
they're just going to get run over.
Yeah, S1mLz taking so much damage. The ultimate very defensively from xiyang as 5 just falls. EDG now as well moving towards this inhibitor. They will break open the base first this game and then move towards the Nexus turrets. And I don't think they're finished.
They're going to finish the game. It's up to xiyang, and here comes juejue.
Yeah, juejue right into the backline. We'll see whether he can actually get the work done, but Deft skirting around this fight. Mouse takes down S1mLz in the backline, and juejue getting ripped apart. Towers falling left, right, and center, and EDG, I don't know how they did it, but they came back and pick up a 33-minute victory.
And at the very end of that team fight, we saw what the Skarner pick into Hecarim was supposed to do. Juejue went in for the side flank and immediately was grabbed by the Impale. That is how EDG's composition was supposed to work. They only got it to work about 3 times, but it's okay, because they were the 3 times that mattered.
I'm still speechless. I did not see how EDG were going to find their way back in there.
They should not have won that game.
Just ridiculous. And does it come back to OMG just not necessarily realizing what their win conditions were and fighting on EDG's terms? Is that what it was?
Yes. I mean...